Hi, I'm Connie Townsend, group fitness instructor with the Wenatchee Racquet Athletic Club, doing another at-home workout. Today we're going to do a quick core workout on the floor, so floor core. We're going to start by activating all of the muscle groups together in a real quick, efficient way, efficient exercise. We're going to do some walkouts. So, hang, tuck, roll down. Let's get to the floor. Let's walk it out. Come into a plank, hands right under the shoulders, belly button pulled up, hips down. Let's walk it back in. Now you can really bend those knees there, or you can try to keep them straight and get a nice hamstring stretch. And back up. Out. Draw the navel up toward the spine, activating all those core muscles. One more. Now stay here. We're going to just tap our shoulder as we stay still with the hips. Hips are down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk it back up and up. Little break for the shoulders. Come on back down. Now, we're going to come into that plank. Legs are hip width apart. Let's step out, out, out and in. Keep the back of the head lifted a bit. 4, 3, 2, and let's walk it back in. Maybe your legs are straighter now, stretching the back of those legs. About 2 more walkouts. Out. Gets the temperature up, gets the heart rate up. And come down, hips down. Let's do that. Step out again with the legs. That changes the support that's under the body. So your core really has to activate to compensate, to support that lack of support. 4, 3, 2, and come down to the floor. We're going to come all the way down. Hands tucked into your rib cage. Let's leave our hips on the floor. And just come up into a cobra stretch. Don't look up, just look out. Now if you're a yoga person, you can maybe come up a little higher, depending on your low back flexibility. Keep those shoulder blades down your back. And a nice stretch. Now, stretching out our arms, we're going to work those shoulder stabilizers. We're also using the whole trunk of the body to support and move those arms. All right, let's look at the floor. Arms out. Let's turn the thumbs up. Lift one arm, then the other. Reach out through the fingertips and pulse. Up, up, up. All right, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring them down a moment, then widen them. You're in a Y. All of these exercises combine to strengthen your rotator cuff in your shoulder complex. Looking at the floor, lifting one arm and then the other. Reach out through the fingertips and pulse. Thumbs up. So even though the shoulders are not an actual part of the core, having the shoulders nice and strong and stable, work with the core for great alignment and posture. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Now we have to move out from the wall because we're going to stretch our arms straight out to the sides. Our thumbs are up again, and we're looking at the floor. Now, think about your shoulder blades. Don't let them come toward your head. Keep them down your back, and up, and lift. It's kind of hard to keep those palms facing forward. Your hands want to rotate. But if you keep those thumbs directly up, that's what's building those strong muscles back there. So down your back with the shoulder blades as we lift. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring them in, let them rest, and we're going to go to a bird dog position. So just a bird dog itself is one of the most effective exercises for training the body, the core, how to engage. Make sure you have room behind you and in front to be able to reach out. So your legs start, knees hip width apart, knees are directly under the hips. So you're not leaning back. Hands are directly under those shoulders. And we're going to hold that neutral position, right with your belly button in the center here. Neutral position as one arm reaches out, lines up with the ear, the other leg reaches out and tries to line up with the spine. Now, from here, let's pulse. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. Woo, let's do a little stretch. Up toward the ceiling. And then let the navel drop down toward the floor. Okay. Rid of the ball. It's in the way. Okay. Back into that neutral position. So as we do a bird dog, your whole core is engaged and you're training the core to engage and hold the spine neutral and straight. Your shoulders are working, your hips are working. We're aligning the spine. So the whole system is really coming into play here when we're doing a bird dog. All right, neutral, other arm up, other leg out, and lift. So it's hard to balance. If you have trouble doing both, arm and leg, just do the leg for a bit. And then maybe gradually as you get more balanced and are able to hold that neutral, then you can add the arm. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, woo, and down. Now we're going to stretch into one of the hips, kind of a half-hearted child's pose, kind of. And another side. Those hips work hard to stabilize the body when you're on one leg. Okay, we're going to go to our side. We'll be doing a side plank with kind of a leg lift and a side crunch combined. So let's straighten out first. Now you're always welcome to do it with straight legs. I'm going to show the bent knee version. So let's bend the bottom knee and just bring the heel behind you. Now you're on that elbow, that forearm that supports the shoulder. That's very important. So if it gets to be too far out there, tuck it in under because we'll be lifting our hips up off the floor. So start kind of under the body. Draw the navel in and lift the hips, lower the head so you're in alignment here. Taking that top leg, start with a leg lift. And if that's manageable, then we start doing a little side crunch. Like you're trying to bring that elbow to your foot. Now only do what you can. If you perhaps want to just reach toward the foot, that's okay too. Or just concentrate on the leg lift while you're in a side plank. 4, 3, 2. Now, come on down. Rest a moment. You can come off that shoulder. Give it a little rest. And then we'll do side bridge, side plank, hip lifts and lowers. So that's going to engage both sides of the core. And you might be sore the next day. They always get me every time. So you're on your elbow, tucked in underneath you. Now straighten out the body. Your heels are behind. So we didn't bend our knees forward. They're behind. We're going to relax that head when we come up. Okay, so you're a straight line here. Now what we're going to do is come above that line, up and back down. Doesn't take very many. You can of course do this with straight legs, with your feet staggered one in front of the other. Or the hardest version is with your feet stacked, one on top of the other. Do what you can. Okay, 4, 3, 2. Woo! Pop up on that bottom arm. Let the side stretch a little bit. Okay. Now we'll do that other side in a bit, but first we will go to our back. Facing up in a supine position. We'll be doing a bridge hold. We do those a lot. Our feet start hip width apart, or they're always hip width apart. Maybe a little closer for this one because we will be taking one leg up off the ground. All right, so your arms are there to help you balance. You're drawing the navel into the floor to start in an anchored position, so there's no gap under your back. You're anchored. We're going to start by that draw in the abdominals, which takes that tailbone and start peeling off the floor. Okay, now you're in a straight line between shoulders and knees. You can squeeze those glutes a little to keep the hips lifted. If you need to, you can readjust your feet so they're right under those knees. Okay, now that's level 1. Just hold that bridge, drawing the navel in, squeezing the glutes. Or level 2, we're going to straighten that leg. We're going to bring it down, back up, as we hold a perfectly still bridge. So your core is working like crazy to stabilize you as that leg is in motion. You're going to take those shoulder blades down your back again. Walk your fingertips toward your feet. Only do what you can. How about 4, 3. Keep the hips lifted. One more. And foot down. From the top of the spine, let's roll one vertebra at a time down. Okay, now giving your body a break before we get to the other leg. But we are going to do some reverse crunches. So the lower half of the spine, the lower curve, we're going to get that tailbone to come up off the floor. One vertebra at a time. All right. So you can lay on your arms, Your arms will be pressing into the floor. Now, not a big motion. We don't want to strain the back. You just want to bring the knees toward the chest. Roll that lower spine up off the floor. And that's kind of level one. You don't want to get real high or push toward the ceiling. Just pull in, rolling up and down. Yeah, level two, you can add a little for our deepest abdominal muscles by adding a little toe dip. But when you do that, your low back definitely needs to be pressed into the floor. So you're drawing down with the navel the whole time. Remember, you can just do a reverse crunch. Two more. And last. One. Hug those knees in. Let the low back rest a bit. And then we'll be going to back up to the bridge and doing the other leg, lift and lower. All right, so feet hip width apart or a little narrower. Arms there at the ready to help balance you. I'm gonna draw down, I'm gonna peel up, and then get those fingertips to really push toward the floor. We don't want to get tight up here. All right, work those feet around where you feel supported. And let's lift a leg. Okay, you're balanced, you're lifted, just up and down. You might only want to do just a little bit of a movement, or you can make it big. Depending on how well you're staying stable, stationary. Hips up. 4, 3, 2, and bring it in. Let's roll it down. Woo. And we had one more in this position, I believe. Yes. We're gonna do a crunch hold. So we're not gonna do a bunch of crunches. There's so many other good things we can do to strengthen the core. But we are going to come up into our upper curve. So now it's not the lower spine, it's the upper spine. We're gonna come up and hold, and then do some rotations for our obliques. So you're gonna put the weight of the head in the hands. You're just supporting the head, you're not pulling with those arms. Keep the elbows out to the side. Now if you're not able to come up in that position, you can always fold your hands. All right, let's roll up and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rotate. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's roll back down. One moment of rest. And float back up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll back down. Moment of rest. We're going to do it one more time. So that crunch hold is working those abdominals differently than if you're doing a bunch of crunches. Same muscles, different use. Let's float on up and hold. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rotate, rotate. 4, 3, 2. And the last one. Come on down, and while we're in this position, let's just stretch out long. Let those arms relax. Let the neck relax. Because it still does tighten up a little bit when we're doing crunches. Bring them in. And from here now, we're going to go to that side plank again. To do the other side, I'm going to go ahead and turn around. So I'm facing you. Now remember, it was our side crunch, our side plank with a leg lift and perhaps a side crunch as well. All right, so let's lay straight. Elbow tucked under you, belly button pulled back. Now take that bottom leg and just set it back behind. All right, let's come up on the hip. Make sure that elbow's underneath that shoulder. And up and down. Keep the toe facing front. Leg is straight. It's not a big motion here. Just a slight crunch in your side. But like I say, you can just maybe reach for the foot to give you something to shoot for. Keeping the hips up. Woo! Combo movement, very difficult. In 4, 3. Not a big range of motion. Come on up, let's stretch the sides a little. Whew. Okay, going into that side plank, hip lift and lower. And then just one more thing after that. So it's a quick workout. Pretty efficient for the core. Gets those muscles more well-rounded than just doing a set of crunches or sit-ups. Okay, tuck that shoulder or elbow under. I'm going to straighten out, but then put both heels behind. Straight line right here. Okay, draw back, come up, lower that head. Now up above that line. Relax the neck and make sure your elbow's under you. We don't want to strain the shoulders. But side planks are very powerful for strengthening the whole shoulder complex, especially the stabilizers, and of course the core, but then the hips. And 4, 3, 2, and even if you want to just hold a plank, that is a powerful exercise as well. Okay, so we are going to go back to our facing up supine position. We're going to have room to stretch out long. Okay. Now in this position, when you're relaxed, you have a gap under your low back. So we're going to get rid of that. Now what you can do without the leg lift hold is you can actually just anchor, hold, and then release. And that is causing the whole spine to align where it connects in with the pelvis and where it connects in with the shoulders. Those connections are strengthening. So you're getting a lot of value out of just an anchor. But I'm going to also bring in our deepest muscle that runs side to side, our transverse abdominis, and it's going to be activated by a leg lift. So let's draw the navel into the floor, anchor that low back, and just lift and lower for a moment as you keep the low back anchored. So that's the trick. Now if you're not able to keep the low back anchored, maybe come up a little higher, where we were, almost where we were with the bridge hold lift. The closer to the floor, the harder it is to anchor. Now we're going to just hold. Draw down. You can feel it all really tightening. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, release. Let's just stretch up. Give the spine and the muscles some relaxation. Your arms, try to get them beside the ears. We'll do that other leg in a moment. Bring your arms in. And let's walk those fingertips down toward the feet. You do not want to tighten up here, remember. Keep the shoulder blades down your back. All right, let's pull down into the floor. Keep that anchor as we lift and lower. You can keep it low, or you can go up higher. So we're training that core to always engage before we move any of our limbs. Keep drawing into the floor. Think about it constantly. Now let's hold. So tight. Everything's being drawn down into the floor. Woo! And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Let's go back into that big stretch again. Really pushing through the fingertips, pushing out through the feet. Your low back is up off the floor right now because it's a stretch. But we're going to anchor one more time. We do this a lot. Let's pull down into the floor. Now this time, you can feel those shoulder blades anchoring. Your pelvis is anchoring, your low back. So the whole spine and all the parts connected to it are getting aligned and strengthened in those connections. And 4, 3, 2. Bring the arms in. Let's bring one knee up and gently pull it across the body. So hip flexibility, shoulder flexibility, they're all part of core health for having a great core. Because the more your hips can move, the more stable they are, the better your alignment in the spine. Same with your shoulders. And bring it in. Let's go to the other side. Come across. So this focuses on the muscles around the hip joint. Now, let's go ahead and bring it back in. Now we're going to bend both knees. Arms are out to the side. Okay. Now keep your shoulder blades connected to the floor. Let's let those knees gently come out to the side. Only as far as you can without over twisting that spine. So now we've brought the stretch into the low back, around the hips, around the torso. And bring one in, and then the other. And go ahead, anchor the shoulder blades, and let the knees fall to the other side. So the uppermost part of the body did not rotate. Okay, let's bring that back arm around. You're on your side. Just slowly come up to sitting. And back into our hands and knees position. to finish. And we will drop the navel toward the floor. And you can gently lift your chin if your neck is okay with that. And then reverse it, tucking the tailbone, pushing the shoulder blades to the ceiling. And then back to neutral. Let's tuck the toes. Let's do a walk-in. And just hold and hang for a moment like a rag doll. You're getting into that low back. Now support yourself and try to straighten the legs. There's a hamstring stretch. Woo! All right, bend, tuck, roll up. And let's inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. And then push down toward the floor. Maybe you can't see me, so I'll come down. Push down toward the floor. Get the shoulder blades down your back. Your head is high, your neck is long. I'm Connie, and I'll see you again.